Hello everyone, welcome to Chamundeshwari Competitive Classes. In this session, we are going to discuss about non-performing asset. So in the prior sessions, in the first video, we discussed about what is the meaning of an asset. So asset means what? The things we own. Things we own is said to be what? Asset. So here they are saying that asset is not performing. Okay. So what are assets for bank here? The question is for banks. What are considered as assets? What are the ownership obligation for banks? Nothing but what? Loans. Loans are considered as assets for banks. What is the meaning of non-performing loan? Okay, so this is the thing we are going to discuss in this session. Let us continue. Non-performing asset. An asset, which means here for banks it is a loans and advances. Okay, loans and advances. The asset becomes non-performing asset when it ceases to generate income for the bank. What is the meaning of ceases to generate income? Means the person who took loan fails to pay installment. Fails to pay what? Installment. Here installment means what? Nothing but interest plus principal. Okay. So whenever the person fails to pay this installment, then bank automatically what? Ceases, means it doesn't get any income from that asset. Okay, so that is what non-performing asset. So when it is said to be non-performing, and how this NPA is defined, let us see. NPA is defined as a loan or an advance in respect of the first one. Let us see. Interest or installment. Interest means only interest. Installment means principal plus interest of principal remains overdue. Remains overdue means not paid. Overdue means not paid. Not due or not paid. Okay. For a period of more than 90 days means it is up to 3 months we can say, or else we can also say by the days 90 days. So when we can say that it is a non-performing asset? When a loan is not getting repaid to the bank for more than 90 days. More than 90 days or more than 3 months. Okay. In respect of a term loan. In respect of a term loan. Okay. The account remains out of order. The account remains out of order. Means the transactions are not getting done. There is no transactions. Okay. In respect of an overdraft or cash credit, the bill remained overdue for a period more than, again here, 90 days. In the case of bill purchased and discounted in a financial institution or bank. Okay, in a financial institution or bank. Next, the installment of principal or interest means nothing but installment here means principal and interest thereon remains overdue for a period more than 90 months in case of the term loans and in case of the bills. And if it is in case of agriculture, let us see these 2 points. Okay, if it is in case of the agriculture, it is a short duration crops, then it is for 2 crop seasons. So there is a person who failed to pay the loan amount back to the bank for at least 2 crop period, if in case of what? Short duration crops. If it is a long duration crops, then it is 1 crop period. Okay, the installment of principal or interest thereon remains overdue for 1 crop period if it is what? Long duration crops. So let us recap it fast. So 90 days, minimum 90 days, the loan ceases to generate income. More than 90 days, more than 3 months we can say. If in case of agriculture, for short duration crops, it is 2 crop seasons. 2 crop season for short duration crops and 1 crop season for long duration crops. Okay. So that is said to be what? NPA. Okay. Let us see the next. Asset classification. In the case of NPA, how assets are classified. Okay, so here assets are classified into these following categories. One is standard asset, substandard asset, doubtful asset, and loss asset. Okay, standard, substandard, doubtful, and loss. What is the meaning of standard asset? Means a perfect asset which comes with a installment payment, means accurately paying by time. Okay, paying by time. So will it comes under NPA? Answer is no. So standard assets are not an NPA, not a NPA. Okay, so NPA category falls under which categories? These assets. Okay, substandard, doubtful and loss assets. Okay, so standard assets means what? Which is doing accurate payment of installments. Okay, let us see one by one. Standard asset means an asset generate continuous income. Okay, means they are properly paying back their loan amount to the bank. Okay, to the bank or financial institution. And substandard assets means what? An asset which remains as NPA, which remains as NPA. When it will be NPA? More than 3 months or more than 90 days period. Okay, for which remains NPA for less than or equal to 12 months. Means what? See, a asset became NPA after 90 days. Suppose it is 91st day. From the 91st day to 12 months, nothing but 1 year, one complete year. This category falls under what? Substandard asset, means 0 to 12 months. Or else we can say that first year after becoming the NPA. First year after becoming the NPA, the asset is considered under the category of substandard asset. Clear? Next, doubtful asset. Doubtful asset means an asset which remains substandard category for 12 months. So what here they are saying? Here substandard asset comes under the first year category. Means after first year, after become it is a substandard asset, again one more year. Means after first year, one more year being a substandard asset, then this asset will become what? Doubtful asset. Okay, doubtful asset. Next, loss asset means what? An asset where loss has been identified by the bank or RBI. So if it is crosses the category of doubtful asset also, means nothing but first year, after that another more year, after that another more year, after that it is considered as a loss asset. Okay, and the properties will be recalculated. Once the bank or RBI, once the central bank or banks find out it is not generating any income and it became a loss, then it is said to be what? Loss asset. Okay. Next, in case of a standard asset, a loan which does not pose any threat to recovery. Already we discussed that standard asset doesn't comes under the category of NPA. It is not at all a NPA. Why? Because it is generating a periodical income to the bank in the form of installment or in the form of interest and principal payments. Okay, so standard asset doesn't fall under the category of NPA. In case of substandard asset, means NPA up to 12 months, means more than 3 months up to 12 months. It is comes under the category of substandard asset. Okay. Next, doubtful asset 1. Doubtful asset 1 means NPA up to 24 months. Means more than 3 months up to 2 years we can say, or else up to 24 months also we can say. Okay. Above 3 months up to 24 months. Next, doubtful asset 2 means what? Above 3 months up to 48 months, which means what? Up to 3 years if you see. Okay, 3 months to 12 months is 1 year here, 12 to 24 another year here, and 24 to 36 another year here, and 36 to 48 one more year. So 1, 2, 3. Here these 3 years are considered 3 full years. So it comes under the category of what? Doubtful 3. Above this 48 days. See, Doubtful asset 3, NPA beyond 48 months. So above this 48 months, it is said to be what? Loss asset. Above 48 months, it is said to be what? Loss asset. Loss asset has been identified by the banks and RBI. It will be identified by banks and RBI. Okay. So once the bank find out that they are arising with the NPA, then what they should do is they need to create a provision for that particular NPA. Means, so here what is the meaning of provision? What is the meaning of creating a provision now means? Let us see. When a loan it is not being repaid, so the asset is not being performed and became NPA, the bank has to reconstitute that money from its other sources like profits. So to bear this NPA, bank need to give a backup to their statements with profits or else with the returns of the bank. So for example, if a bank is going to face 10 lakhs NPA, then bank need to back up the amount of 10 lakhs or more depending on the market environment to sustain these losses, to sustain this 10 lakhs losses through NPA. That is what, how this 10 lakhs will be created means through the bank profits. Okay, so this is what provisioning means, creating a reserve we can say. Okay, setting aside of money from the profits to compensate a probable loss. Probable loss means what? That may or may not happen. May or may not happen, that loss. Okay, so NPA is a probability. Okay, after 1 year also maybe that person can come back and pay the amount. If not paid, it will comes under another categories. Okay, so may or may not. So they need to create what? Reserve, setting back the money from their profits to compensate the probable loss caused on lending a loan. Why this all things are happened? Why? Because bank provided a loan to that customer. This is called what? Provisioning. Provisioning is done due to what purpose? Covering of the risks of the bank which arise due to NPA. Okay. I hope you are understanding. Next, so how to create this provision? For standard asset, it is a correct, exact percentage to maintain 0.4% of provision. Why? Because the risk is less. Risk is less in case of standard assets, and this doesn't comes under the category of NPA. Okay, so standard asset need to maintain a provision of 0.4%, low rate of provision we can say. Okay, when it comes to substandard asset, here substandard assets are divided by the categories of secured loans and unsecured loans. What is secured loans? What is unsecured loans? When a loan is provided by taking a collateral securities, when a loan is provided by taking a collateral securities, means some security is there while they are providing loans. It is what? Secured loans. So for the purpose of secured loans, how much percentage of NPA bank need to maintain is 15%. Okay, for unsecured loan means the loan provided without any security. So for that purpose, they need to provide how much amount of provision? 25% of provision. So this is for substandard category of asset. Next, coming to the doubtful asset. So doubtful asset 1, 25%. These all things for secured loan, guys. Please do remember. In case of doubtful assets, if it is a unsecured loans, it will be 100% provision. For secured loans, doubtful 1, 25% of provision. Doubtful 2, 40% of provision, and doubtful 3, complete percent, means 100% of provision they need to maintain. Obviously, for loss assets also they need to maintain 100% provision. Okay. So let us go with the next. Impact of rising NPAs. What if NPAs are increased? What will happen to the bank? How bank will face problems and all we'll discuss now. Okay. NPA generate no interest income for the banks. So NPA means what? Seizures of income. We already discussed that. NPA seized the income for the banks. So interest income will be seized. As per RBI norms, the bank is required to provide provisioning of that loans. Already we discussed that what is provisioning. Okay, and how much percentage of provision they need to maintain for different types of loans falls under different category of assets. Okay, NPAs not only affect the profitability, it not only affect the profitability of the banks, but also affect the liquidity because of the banks has fewer funds to lend out of or recycle. Okay, so whenever the bank is having a fewer funds to lend, to provide loans or to recycle, means whatever, if bank is running out of funds and they need to lend more, at that time what will happen means liquidity risk will also arise to the bank due to NPAs. Okay, these liquidity risk we will all we will again discuss at Basel norms. Okay, soon this session will also be conducted on Basel norms. Okay, so this liquidity risk will also again we will discuss there. Okay, so whenever bank is facing this running out of funds, liquidity risk will also arise, and if it is an NPA situation, that doesn't only affect the profitability of the bank, it will also affect the liquidity. Okay, high NPAs degrade a bank credit rating. We all know about the credit rating, but we know about the individual sake, right? So like in the case of individual, for tax persons and all, they maintain a CIBIL score for the purpose of taking loans and advances. So this CIBIL will provide what rating to the persons, not only to the persons but also to the companies and but also to the country. Okay, so CIBIL means what? Central. So CIBIL means what? Credit Information Bureau of India Limited. Credit Information Bureau of India Limited. Okay, under this CIBIL, seven companies will be there. Okay, those will create rating and this will authorize. Okay, so higher NPA degrade the bank credit rating as well, and lowering its credibility means it will be the same case, running out of funds. Lowering its credibility means it will reduce the liquid funds in the bank so that the lending rate will be lowered. Okay, assets and liabilities mismatch will be widened. So as we all see, in case of traditional balance sheet, assets and liabilities will be there. Okay, so whenever the assets are degraded and asset balance reduced and liabilities stays in the same position, what will happen means mismatch, means balance sheet will not get tallied, so that the accounts will not show true and fair view. Okay, asset and liability mismatch will be widened, means it will increase and reduce the earning capacity of the loans. So automatically the earning capacity will be reduced and badly affected the return on investment. Whatever the return is there, so whatever the investment is there, on that return will also be reduced. Return on investment will also be reduced. Okay, NPA affect the risk-facing ability of the banks. So whatever the capacity is there for the banks to face the risk like NPAs, so that ability will be reduced day by day because of the NPAs occurring to the bank. Okay, and as per RBI norms, every bank must maintain capital adequacy ratio of 9% or higher. So we will discuss this capital adequacy ratio in detail in Basel norms. So it is most important point to be discussed. Okay, so we'll discuss in this session. So capital adequacy ratio must be maintained how much percent? 9% or higher. For what? For all banks. Who provided this? RBI provided this. As per what? As per Basel. Okay, what is Basel and what is this Basel norms? Who issued? What is that committee? We'll discuss in that. Okay, as NPA goes up, as NPA increases, forcing the bank to allocate for capital in order to maintain, as NPA goes up, forcing the banks to allocate for capital in order to maintain CAR, capital adequacy ratio. So what is the meaning of capital adequacy ratio? Is the minimum capital requirement to be maintained by the bank. Minimum capital requirement to be maintained by the bank to face any risks that such as NPS. Okay, as investment got stuck, it may result in unemployment. As we all know that whenever the risk is happening, the ultimate effect will be on unemployment, and again it will lead to what? Poverty. This is a chain process. So government will also implement so many policies, so many schemes to develop employment in the economy so that growth will be taking place. Okay, so let's see what we discussed is first and foremost point, when it is said to be NPA, more than 3 months or 90 days. So this is categorized. Next point, what happened means what bank should do when NPA rises. Bank need to provide show cause notice to the customer to pay back or to show me the reason why they are not paying loans back. Okay, show cause notice to be sent by the bank. For that show cause notice, if the customer reacted within the 30 days, the customer reacted within 15 days, then what will happen is bank will settle here. Otherwise, after these 15 days, bank will file a case. After 15 days, means more than 15 days, bank will file a case in the debt recovery tribunal. Bank will file a case in the debt recovery tribunal, filing that this customer is not properly paying back their installment amount to the bank and the NPA is generating. Okay, so DRT will be, means case will be filed in the DRT. So here what customer can do is they can again file a case and they can maintain what a stay order. They can make a stay order. The stay order is also said to be injunction order. Okay, stay order or injunction order. Okay, after that what will happen is, if the case is not solved in DRT as well, this case will be proceeded to DRAT, Debt Recovery Appellate Tribunal. Okay, so what this Debt Recovery Appellate Tribunal do is give two options, like will you going to pay or not. So if he said yes, then they need to pay 50% of the amount of loan, 50% of the amount of outstanding loan amount must be paid at a time. If no, the assets which kept as a security, collateral security, will be auctioned. Will be auctioned by the bank. Means DRAT give authority to the bank to auction the assets of the customer. So if in auction, if the assets are not purchased by any person, then these assets will be sent to ARC, Asset Reconstruction Company. This ARC will work as per SARFAESI Act, Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Asset and Enforcement of Securities Interest Act 2002. So ARC, Asset Reconstruction Company, will work as per SARFAESI Act. SARFAESI Act is consisting with 3 exceptions. SARFAESI Act is consisting with 3 exceptions. What are those? First exception is the asset, the loan amount means which provided by bank to customer must not be less than 1 lakh. Must not be less than 1 lakh. Okay. Next, second one, the asset which kept as a security must not be an agricultural land. Okay. So whatever the asset kept as a security for loan purpose must not be a agricultural land. And next one, if a asset is already paid more than 80% to the bank, means after paying 80% or more, if that loan became NPA, then ARC will not be applicable. Okay, so if asset is already, means if the loan is already paid more than 80% to the bank, then ARC will not take that option. Okay, what are these three exceptions? First one, loan amount must not be less than 1 lakh. Asset must not be agricultural land, means here asset means security. Okay, the security asset must not be a agricultural land, and if the loan is already paid more than 80% to the bank, then this option will not be applicable. So who will do this? ARC will do this. ARC will work as per what? SARFAESI Act, Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Asset and Enforcement of Securities Act 2002. So this is what NPA is about. This NPA is linked with a chapter known as Basel norms. Okay, both chapter contains, means both these concepts, both two concepts contain more weightage in the examination. So you need to know with the abbreviations as well. Most important sessions these two are. I hope you understand this lecture. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you have any doubts, just me know in the comment section. And if you do want some more topics, just provide in the comment section. Mention that topic, means what you needed to be explained in this session. Mention it in the comment so that I'll prepare a video on that. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.